Dublin traffic, Runner 4 Hotel Whiskey vacated on 205 Dublin traffic.
Welcome to the stream, everybody. So we'll be starting the stream soon. So this flight takes us from Dublin to Brussels. I know one of the requests was to fly to Belgium, so I'm going to do that from Dublin. So we're in the Airbus A320. Hopefully we'll be able to hopefully we'll be able to sort of get there okay with no problems. Let me just make sure everything's all running on the streams, and I think we're there on the streams. Perfect. Okay, so welcome on board. Let's your holding slate graphics are brilliant. Thanks, Stevie B. I appreciate that. Well, let's get into the cockpit flight deck, just so that we're not waiting around too much. So we are live on VATSIM as well. So we'll just go over to the aircraft. There we go. Okay, so we're hello, Top Man. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to the chats. Okay, so we're both here. So say hello, Jerry.
Hello. How are you doing? Good evening, all.
And we are. Yeah, the plan is to fly to Brussels for those that are just joining. Okay, so let's just have a quick check of the overhead. And I think everything was covered there before we got an okay. APU bleed on, and let's start the boarding of the passengers. There we go. Okay. So how many passengers? I didn't catch how many passengers we got on board. So 167 passengers on board.
Yeah, it's fairly full this evening, I'm afraid.
Fairly full. So should we hop over to the fuel next?
Yeah, I'd say so, because we got to get that on. I can't remember now what much they said. I think we're carrying a little bit extra tonight.
Okay. So we'll go and do that. So fuel. So target fuel 6.1 tons, and that includes our extra of 700 kilos of fuel for the flight. So
Sure,
so if we do we put the exact figure in, Jerry?
Yeah, 6.1, 6,100, 6,200.
Okay, 6,002.
Yeah.
And in the real world, would you do it to the exact figure so it's easily traceable on the flight plan?
You'd round it up slightly. You can only select an increment of 100 kilos.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. If you can get the exact figure on, then you're doing well.
Okay. That makes sense. All right, so we'll get that fuel loaded there.
Is your ADARS aligned? It's going back to haunt you.
Yes. Well, the tug's ready for us. There we go. Will we have ATC tonight? So we will have ATC. So Jerry's doing the radios. We're on VATSIM this evening rather than IVO, which I was on this morning. Mainly because we got the professional in. We've got the boarding gate there. At the aircraft. And Happy New Year, Christopher. Is this real or a game? It's a game. It's Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We're streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. So whatever you want to view this on, I'm happy for that. Is this VR or high tracking? It's called Track IR5. And Jerry, who's the first officer this evening, has also ordered one of those, haven't you, Jerry?
Yeah. That was something like I always wanted for many years, and I think Santa Claus is a bit late bringing it, but it's gonna give it. It's on the way.
I reckon you could have manufactured it by the time it comes.
Yeah.
I reckon you could have got some 3D printed parts and manufactured it. Greetings from Buenos Aires. Oh wow. Do you know, it amazes me how how far the stream goes. It's crazy.
That's good.
2K00 Topman on YouTube said, what add-ons do you have installed? So this aircraft is a fly-by-wire A320 NX. It's freeware, so you can download its community-led development. It's absolutely brilliant. There's still a bit to go with what they need to include on there. You can see a few things that are in-op, which is inoperable. But it's a fantastic piece of kit, isn't it, Jerry? It's worked really well.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So there's that. I've got my I've got like a pushback toolbar, but you don't really need that. That's just convenience for me. And I use Navigraph for the charts, which I can pull up at any point. So I'm going to connect that actually. Be a good thing to connect that. So while we're waiting for the fuel, are you all connected with VATSIM? Are you sort of, do we need to get any clearance, or the tower's still not active at Dublin?
Okay, so just looking at background here. At this moment in time, the ATC is not available for Ireland, and higher level ATC is not available for the UK. So hopefully if some of the guys are listening on the stream, somebody will log on there and provide the service to us most of the way. So it's just going to be standard Unicorn radio for now. Okay,
that makes sense. Okay, so we're going from Dublin. I'm just, you can see the stream, Dublin to Brussels. Create that route. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we'll carry on setting up the box. Again, everything looks okay. Before we do that, in terms of the controls and stuff, init request for the route. And our departure runway today is, do you know what the departure runway is?
I'd say it would be runway 28 left, unless advised.
28 left, and using the
PESIT departure.
PESIT departure. Okay.
So while you're doing that, I'm just looking at the plates here, Dan. It's going to be flight level 90. We don't have ATC clearance, so we can give ourselves a clearance of flight level 90.
Okay, that's great.
A squawk of whatever you wish.
Okay, is it is it 5 Alpha? PESIT 5
yeah, the
Alpha?
PESIT 5 Alpha, yeah.
Okay. Now in the real aircraft, there's obviously duplicate departure names there. Would that not be the case in the real aircraft?
There is duplicate departure names, alright, in the sense of there's being a 5 Alpha, Echo or Golf. It would depend on which runway that you're doing and what category aircraft that you are.
Okay.
PESIT 5 Alpha is for category C, which is an Airbus.
Yeah.
And that will give us basically it's departure for a jet.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, and the arrival airport, what we've got sort of programmed in at the moment on our sort of flight paper, what runway are we expecting?
I'd say it's going to be the westerly runway, so it's, I can't remember off the top of my head.
25 right.
25 left. You'll be landing on the left and you depart on the right.
Oh, okay. So 25 left.
Let's see, is Brussels ATC open at the moment? Let's look. Not quite. Amsterdam is, but Brussels was alive about 10 minutes ago. They've just gone quiet at the moment, but you never know, that could come back.
Okay, so let's put that in there. There we go. So that's all in there. How are we doing for fuel? So we had 6.2, so that the fuel's done.
Excellent.
We can have a look at the passengers, see how long we've got left on the passengers. Okay, so 91 out of the 167 passengers are on board. So is there anything while we're waiting for the passengers, because we can't do our performance weights and stuff until, is there anything else that we need to cover?
No, but what I can say is, just for anybody who's interested on the fly-by-wire sim, see the way it's designated there's 167 passengers. I read documentation to say that if you wish and to cut it down to say 130 passengers, you could put in 130 and override that figure there, and it would stop at 130. So just in case something was to change, you know?
And that makes sense. And of course,
Yeah,
if we don't want to board them passengers, we'll just press stop and then return the gate.
Exactly. Well, all you got to do is just put in the number that you want to stop at, and it will actually stop there for you.
Yeah, that makes sense. Looks incredible. Are you using the A320 NX mod? Yes, we are, Elon. Have you tried fly-by-wire, FS2 fly-by-wire? It's a game changer. If this is what you mean, fly-by-wire is in, yeah, this is the Airbus A320 fly-by-wire.
Yeah.
In the metaverse should be an ATV real paid job. ATC real paid job, yeah. Germany to America, someone has said. Andrew. Evening, Mitch. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hi, Even. It's a paid version and adds first officer. I don't know about that. That meant I didn't realise they had like an FS2.
I haven't heard of that. I don't know.
Okay,
Let's note that down and look up later.
Fly-by-wire. I'll have to have a look at that.
Yeah. Mind you, I think the mod for your controls and what it's actually doing here is pretty good.
Okay. Oh, I see what's FS to crew. I see. That's if you're single pilot operations and you want a co-pilot, I think.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
So we well, at the moment we've got we've got a co-pilot, a real one. So we've got a first officer. Jerry is on board. He's actually. Do you want to just turn the dome lights off and just prove that you can control the aircraft for us?
I certainly will. And there's the dome light.
Look at that. So
there we go.
He's oh blimey, yeah.
There we go.
The lights are off. So there we go. So yeah, I mean Jerry's controlling it as well. Let's go and have a look outside while we're waiting for those rest of the passengers to arrive. So we're in an Aer Lingus livery today, and like I say, we're at the gate, boarding the passengers. We've got the external power truck flashing away, and
there must be no staff there to switch on the light.
Yeah. I'm just wondering there, Jerry, if you turn the dome lights off, we'll just turn the dome lights off for us.
I know what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. That's one more. There we go.
Look at that. So it even controls the flight deck lights accordingly. So if you turn that back on, we should see you.
No, I can't find it. It's too dark.
It's too dark. Look at that. That's crazy. So yeah. I thought that was interesting.
It's all the small things.
Yeah. These things that keep us entertained while we're boarding the passengers, and so yeah, it's great.
Let's just I'll just check the ATC one more time. Hopefully somebody's going to come on in Dublin and interact with us.
Hi,
no,
Dave Rendon over on Twitch. Welcome to the live. What VR headset are you using? So I'm actually using something called a Track IR5. So it's not VR, I'm using the monitors, but I can turn my head, I can look closer, really close underneath as well if I tilt my head as well. Obviously there's a slight limit with, because it uses sort of the light to reflect back at the screen. Funky duck. Oh yeah, how funny. No, it's not real. It's Monster Flight Simulator 2020. So we're just waiting for the passengers to board and we set up the rest of the. Is there a Discord server? Yeah, I have got a Discord server set up. It's pretty quiet over there, so feel free to join any discussions on there. It's via my link tree on my bio, TikTok bio, if you want to take a look. On your flights, when you talk to ATC, who is it you're talking to? Is it a trainee controller? No, well, yeah, it could potentially be a trainee controller when we do chat to them, but it's actually real. Well, it's not. Well, it's VATSIM. It's real people, VATSIM or IVAO, depending on what network we're using. Tonight it's going to be VATSIM, and the map basically it's all over the world, isn't it? They become available. Okay, so passengers are boarded now, so we can do our weight and balance.
I'll just check the center of gravity is 24.5.
24.5, thank you. Okay, so we'll just move this.
Where's the stewardesses?
Okay, so 0.1 down, I think that makes it. What do you reckon, Jerry?
It's about right, yeah.
Okay, so flaps 1.
Yeah.
And point. Oh, where's the point gone? Is that it? Yeah, point. How sure? Oh, I mean, you'll have to look on that stream, but the dot disappeared. 0.1 down.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, is it DWN?
Yeah, DN.
DN. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Ironically, you can do / down 0.1 as well, so you can put that at the start or at the.
Okay, so we'll put a V1 and V2 in. So VR stands for. Is that the? Just trying to think. So V1's obviously the decision.
Yeah. VR is the rotate. So in other words, 134 knots, you rotate the aircraft to its to a pitch where you're going to lift off the ground. And V2 is your fly speed.
Great. Okay, so that explains for giving people a roller coaster ride. Serious question for once. 4 pedals. Why? Well, we haven't got 4 legs, but the first officer has got 4 legs. Has got 2 legs as well, so that makes 4. So you can operate the aircraft on either side, essentially, a bit like the smaller stuff. You got a side stick, the control stick as well as the rudders. I mean, what's the official name for the Airbus control on the left-hand side and the right-hand side, Jerry?
So you mean the tiller?
No. So the actual flight control, for the aileron and.
Just the flight control.
Just flight control. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she sounds like a fit robot. Well, okay. Well, there we go. Well, she's not coming in the flight deck, that's for sure. Hi Nigel, hi Dan and Jerry. 2 streams in one day. You are spoiling us with New Year's Eve. Much better than the rubbish on the TV. That's over on the YouTube side. I have to admit, I don't really watch a lot of TV myself these days for that reason. It's just there's the odd Netflix thing on, but apart from that, it's pretty poor. It's not like the 90s and all the rest of it. No, it looks like there are 4 pedals. Are 2 for resting feet. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yes.
Good spot. Yes, actually, they are resting pedals, aren't they? They're for resting.
They are actually those ones that's just underneath the screens. They actually, when you put your feet on those, they actually fold down to a 45-degree angle, and you can rest your feet on them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's a pity that's not actually modelled on this here,
And so so they can actually sort of go and drop down quite far, can they?
If I was to say to you, they are like a lever. You put your 2 feet on them, and as you put your weight, they fall down and start going away. They hinge from way back, and then they stop 45 degrees down. So you can actually have your feet on them and feet up in the air.
Okay, and that handle, that's pulled to adjust, so you'd pull that and adjust it, would you? And then
no, that hand, there are the foot pedals you're talking about down there, yeah?
Yeah.
Or I'm talking about the two little rectangular, what looks like footrests there, just up beside the food tray. See the food tray would actually pull out, and then there's two little grey elongated things just directly under the ND.
Oh, okay.
I tell you what, yeah, I'll try and get a picture and show you.
I've got it. Yeah. So we're talking about
Yeah.
These are the rest pedals. These are okay. So you've got some rest pedals in the middle as well as some rest pedals by your food tray. That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Food tray ones hinge out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just got a clearance, Dan. Flight level 90. It's going to be the Dexton, the Pesset departure, and Squawk 1265.
Okay. Squawk 1265. And we've had our clearance for 9,000 feet.
9,000 and the Pesset departure.
And Pesset departure, just make sure that's in the box.
While you're looking at that, I'll just call
Pesset
it from
departure.
the plate if you wish.
Yeah.
The plate up to show everybody that what we're actually looking at.
Okay, so
And another 2 minutes.
okay, Pesset departures up.
Pesset 5 alpha, that's it. So if I read from the plate and you just double check and cross check in the box that the points are there,
Yep.
we're going off the runway and we're going to a point called the Oscar Echo
Oscar Echo. Yeah.
in the box. Yeah, you
In the
can see
box. Yeah.
And after Oscar Echo, it'll be to a point called Pelic,
Pelig.
and then from Pelic to Pesset. Now that doesn't actually. Sorry, that's the wrong departure in the box. That's why we check these things.
Okay.
That's why we check these things.
There we go. So
So yeah.
okay, so we'll go
Pesset.
to this.
Departure. 28 left.
28 left.
Scroll down to Pesset PES 15 alpha. PES 15 alpha.
Oh,
That's it there.
oh, sorry. A bit trigger happy on that.
It's near. It's so easy to press
So
the wrong one
close.
there, because
Yeah.
isn't it? So we'll
Okay.
double check that with you again. It says to the Oscar Echo, with the left hand turn down to Baldonnel,
Yeah,
and after the Bal, we're going to Nepod, and then from Nepod onto Pesset.
that's correct. Yeah, got
Okay. Flight level 90. Lovely. Thank you.
that. Okay. Good afternoon from Scotland. How you doing? Okay, so I think that's everything done in our box.
We are
we
good
are
to
ready
go.
We're good to go. All
Get
right.
rid of the ground crew, call the truck, and that's it. Let's do
Okay.
it.
So we'll move doors away.
I'll just get rid of your external ground power for you.
Thank you. Get him away as well. And we'll call our truck.
I'll just give it out on Unicom to Dublin traffic that we're going to push and start.
Yeah, sure.
Dublin traffic, good evening. Share mark is 682. Push and start.
Okay, so pre startup. Sorry, no.
Yep.
Is it pre startup? Yeah, pre startup. APU master on. APU start is on. MacDo weights are in. MacDo takeoff performance checked. V speeds. APU bleed is on. External power off. Seatbelt signs are on, and packs as required. Windows and doors locked. Cockpit door locked.
Oops. It's locked.
And beacon on.
Okay, I'll put it on for you.
Fuel pumps are on.
Checks.
Transponder auto.
I stuck that on for you.
Okay, that's the one that doesn't work. And TCAS standby. And steering pin inserted. Parking brake as required. Okay, so ready for pushback then?
We are clear. We're clear to push the start.
Okay.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by. Okay, sir. The bypass pin is
So the route
installed.
tonight,
All
we're
doors
going
and
to
hatches
Brussels
closed
from
and
Dublin.
All ground equipment is removed.
Yep.
The parking brakes are set.
It basically
You may
takes
lift.
us out
Parking brake
off the
set.
Wesley in
Lifting
Dublin.
aircraft.
We take a southeasterly track. We route down towards the south of the UK, across to London, and straight across to Brussels.
Standing by for pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
You're
we're
cleared for
facing.
start and push. Parking
We're
brake set.
putting the tail facing
Okay, cleared for push
to
start.
the
To the
Release
right.
parking
to the
brake.
right. Yeah. Okay, release parking brake. Ready? 1, 2,
And 2.
3, 2, 1.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Okay, Jerry, would you be able to put the lights on for the aircraft while we're waiting and be able to dim down the...
Sure.
and I'll start engine. So engine starter to start.
Ignition.
Yep,
Yeah.
ignition. And starting engine number 2.
Start 2. Okay, let me set this all up for you before we get a nice dark atmosphere going. Let's just bring that up. Overhead is on. Panels. They all coming up on your side there, Daniel?
Yeah, they are. They're perfect. Thank you.
Super.
At least the engine's coming alive tonight.
Oh, the nightmare of it. But Dan, I do have to comment on that stream 2 streams ago. It was so entertaining. For those of you who missed it, I really recommend you go back over to YouTube and see Dan's Gatwick. He absolutely was a warrior in the landing.
Is that our taxiway to the...
No, you just keep going, keep going.
Okay, keep going.
Keep going backwards, yeah.
Alright. It's so dark out there, I can't see a blooming thing.
It's a pity. That's just something that I think they could do with most of the airports in the flight sim, is just bring up the brightness a little bit in the evening.
Yeah.
I'd say if you turn a little bit more to the right with the tail. Make sure it's a heading of about 230 when you'll see the taxi line.
Okay.
There you go. You can take that one, or the one there's one further on over to your left hand side, but anyway there.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
I think we'll put the taxi lights on actually.
Now, in the real life you wouldn't do that, but you just blinded the pushback driver.
Okay, I'll tell you what, we'll turn it off then. We'll turn it off.
Dublin traffic around S6
Parking brake set.
running up to 8 left.
Parking brake
Dublin
set.
traffic.
We're set.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
And you clear start 1.
Ground. You may disconnect.
Okay, sir. Clear to disconnect.
Okay.
Tell me when you're starting 1.
See you at
Parking
the
brake
side.
is
Have a good flight.
parking brake is
Holding
set
position
and
waiting for the
pushback
visual.
is
Thank you
completely
and goodbye.
Okay.
So setting engine number 1. Start
1.
engine 1. Jackson Gaming said, "Who's with you?" So this is Jerry, first officer. He's a real-life Airbus A320 pilot. I'm a private pilot in real life, but I don't usually fly these sort of things. Well, I have been flying this more than the real thing, the real sort of single-engine pistons recently. After a bit. Oh, dear.
Oh yeah, after the last few many months, yeah, it's the only go-to.
Is this on VATSIM? Yeah, it's on VATSIM tonight. And Fucky Duck said, I can tell this computer setup cost more than £50. Dan's wife, how much did this all cost? Dan, I love what you do. I love what you've done with your hair. Look, we don't mention cost when it comes to aviation. That includes aviation-related computers as well, you know.
I got all mine free, did you?
Yeah, it was free, I think. I picked it up at a car boot, I think, something like that.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Some things should never be spoken about. Okay, so there's your second engine start. That's good.
Okay, so after start checklist, please.
Do the ignition.
Ignition. 3,
to
2,
normal,
1.
I mean. Yeah, go. And you do the overhead.
Overhead. Bleed off and APU off.
Excellent. I'll do the. I'm gonna arm the spoilers. I'm gonna zero the trim.
Yeah.
So let's flap 1, 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
And your rudder trim was what did you say? It was
24 point something, but it's 0.0.
It's about there now. Yeah. It's there now. Super. That's it.
Perfect. Okay, so before taxi checklist complete and taxi checklist, do you want to get alcohol?
I'll just
we'll
run
have to
the.
get clearance, yeah.
I'll just give you a quick before start. After starts, it says anti-ice.
Anti-ice, not required.
Engine mode selector.
Norm.
Rudder trim.
Set.
And hitch trim.
Set.
And flight controls we checked, and the ECAM status.
ECAM status page is checked and normal.
After start checklist complete. So, just going to say what I'm desperately trying to see is Dublin ATC. No, they're not wrong. Okay, so Dublin traffic, Shamrock 628 taxiing via Zulu, Echo 1, hold short, runway 28. So, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, do you want to turn our taxi lights on? Runway turn off lights, strobes, etc.
Get all those on. Okay, now there's your taxi light.
Perfect.
Let's get all those on for you.
Thank you very much. First officer.
There we go.
Okay, parking brake off, 3, 2, 1.
Off.
Okay, taxiing.
I'll get the cabin.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Okay, and your config test is complete. Super. Oh, look at him. That's one of the anomalies of the sim.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just they just put they spawn these random cars around the place, you know.
Well, I haven't got it this end, you know. I haven't got it this end.
Okay,
so
I got one on this end. So that's a slight difference.
Okay, so you have to direct me here. So we're going to.
So follow that line around, and you'll see it then going to the left.
To the left, yeah. So.
In a minute, you see going to
Not
the left.
yet,
That would be your echo.
Okay, thank you.
Out of curiosity, are you tuned in? Are you logged on to VATSIM?
I am, yeah. I can hear everything, yeah.
Super.
Good evening, Dan. We're flying tonight on New Year's Eve. I don't think I'll get away with that. To be fair.
So keep going around to the left. All the way around. And there's your hold point.
Okay.
So let me just do a flow for you before takeoff. So I'm going to get your lights and strobes. PWS is on auto. TARA brake fans is off. Camera is off, and the memos are checked. Dublin traffic, good evening. Shamrock 628, lining up runway 28 left. There you go. You're cleared onto the runway.
Okay. And in terms of the heading that's set at the moment, would you usually set that to runway heading? In the
That's a
real
good question. If you wanted to maintain the runway heading, you would, but you'll notice when you select toga,
yeah,
it'll default into when we get in the air,
the
it'll
managed.
default into nav.
Nav,
exactly.
okay, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Double traffic, Shamrock 628. Take off runway 28 left. There you go. Clear take off.
Okay,
Flights on,
toga.
checks, please take off.
Double traffic, Ryanair 40, taxi,
That toga SRS
Papa
runway
1,
yellow,
back track
thrust
green,
is blue,
runway 34,
and thrust
straight
is
left.
set. knots.
Check.
V1. Rotate. And positive climb.
Gear up.
Gears up.
Okay, and when would you put the climb thrust in? What points?
When it tells you, it says, we'll talk about that a little bit later on in what we should see in the box. You actually tell when it wants you to prompt you.
Okay.
Watch the top left hand corner of your PFD at 1720 feet.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
There you go.
Bring in the nose down.
Just follow the flight director.
Yeah.
S plus increasing.
Shall we take the flaps out?
Flaps 0.
Flap 0.
Checks.
Okay, I'm bringing the autopilot in.
Checks. And flaps are retracted.
Flaps are retracted.
Would you like the after takeoff checks?
Yeah, after the takeoff checklist, please.
It says landing gear.
Up. Retracted.
Flaps.
Retracted.
Packs.
On.
APU.
Is off.
And the bar reference
is set.
That's the
1
after
0.
takeoff.
Set once, set twice, and set 3 times.
And that's the after takeoff checklist complete. Your motor.
Thank you very much. So we've just departed Dublin, everybody. It's fantastic. So Jackson Gaming over on YouTube has asked, what add-ons are you using? So we're using Fly
Sorry,
by
Captain,
Wire.
for disturbing you. Set standard. Set standard.
Set standard, yeah.
And we are cleared to flight level 310.
Okay, flight level 310.
I'll keep an eye on it now.
Thank you very much. Okay, so Jackson Gaming over on YouTube has asked what add-ons are we using. So we're using Fly-by-Wire, A320, NX, which is freeware. Also using Your Controls, which allows shared cockpits, shared flight deck experiences.
Double traffic, Ryanair 40, lining up, taking off to 8 left.
We are also using virtual ATC, which is VATSIM this evening, but we also use IVAO. And apart from that, everything else is standard, isn't it, Jerry? I think
it is indeed. Yeah, it's all stock. That's one or two of my screens just closed down. Again.
Big Ginger, can you share the cockpit on console? I don't believe you can at the moment.
No, I've looked at that. Somebody else asked me a question about that before, and I didn't find anything online about it.
Yeah. Astra Archcraft, how did you get the Shamrock logo beside the aircraft reg? So that is part of the livery pack for the A320 NX, Fly-by-Wire NX. So that's, yeah, so I didn't have to do anything for that. Yeah.
So then we're passing 10,000 feet, lights go in.
Okay, so lights retracted.
All of them, yeah. Every one of them.
Yeah, every one of them. All my lights off.
Yeah. Decide what you want to do with the seatbelts.
Seatbelt signs off. And strobes.
Yeah, they stay on.
Stay on.
I think it's good to let everybody know where we are.
Wing lights off. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. And do you leave the logos on? Or,
oh yeah. For all the people on the ground to see us zipping off by a 500 mile an hour.
Yeah, there we go. That's great. So welcome to the stream. So we're actually on our way to Brussels this evening. So we're going from Dublin to Brussels, for those that are just joining. Yeah, so where you're landing? So we're landing in Brussels, Belgium. Dimitar 1926, thanks for making my 2021 better. Well, yeah, this is the last flight of 2021. Fucking it, ladies and gentlemen, Dan is a pilot. Well, you got two for the price of one tonight. You've got Jerry, who's also a pilot. I've got the equivalent of a Legoland license compared to his commercial credentials, but it does mean that we can share an Airbus at least, without having the full qualifications there.
Any license you have to take an aircraft in the air is a license.
Is a license, it's still a license, yeah. It'd be cool to do this in an Airbus A320 sim, wouldn't it? For like a static sim for real, it'd be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be actually quite cool. Sorry, just funky to catch my eye there again.
Well, hopefully you can find a pot of gold for me to get my license. That would be pretty cool.
That'd be just nice.
Okay, so we've got we've got obviously a bit of time. So 7:15 is our scheduled arrival time, and so we've just got basically an hour flight, haven't we? Just over. So yeah.
At this stage now, you'll probably get a direct to Strumble. So direct Strumble, STU.
Okay. Direct to STU.
STU, and you land at the Strumble.
So in the real world, they would sort of try and save you a bit of time where they can, by letting you go direct to some points, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah. It's all to do with fuel savings as well as being efficient.
And can you essentially request that in the real world as well? You sort of...
Yeah, you can do. Sometimes the controllers are they're more ahead of the game than you. When it is available, they will give it to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not obvious to you that it's not available. They may have a conflict in traffic, and you're always wondering, "Oh, come on, give it now." But it takes 2 or 3 minutes to make sure they have the correct clearance for you.
That makes sense. Just looking where we are at the moment. Okay, so we're just about to cross the Irish Sea, by the looks of it.
That's right.
How's the VATSIM radars looking?
Yeah, it's actually, would you believe, they're all starting to quieten down.
Are they?
What was there about 30 minutes ago when the whole eastern element of Europe was lit up. It's now just the north of Brest is lit, and that's it. Everything has gone quiet. You still might get lucky on the road.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the VATSIM radar myself. Mind you, there's quite a few people flying there. There's a lot of pilots flying.
There is.
Still. You'd think all the ATC would be dying to get on with all these pilots. So we've got Heathrow approach.
Yeah, you can see the way that just gets extremely busy when it's available.
Yeah.
And it's combined with Gatwick as well there, so you've got an immense amount of people inbound there.
That's an interesting name. breast control.
That's it, yeah.
There we go. So that's south of France. You got Madrid approach is active. And yeah, it's interesting. You never know; it might start coming alive as we get closer.
As we go along, yeah. And speaking of the route of the ATC, interesting one there for Funky about is a set path to fly and only deviate in an emergency. No, well, you can fly basically anywhere you want once you file that plan and tell ATC, and they'll try and facilitate. They will not deviate you too much from that plan, very rarely.
I mean, in the real world situation, it can be quite a massive cost to the company if you have to divert to another airport. I imagine you have to, or is that covered with the ATOL protection on the passenger side? Is the insurance, or do the company have to pick up the bill?
Yeah, that's something that the flight deck don't get involved with. It's just primarily safety, and whatever your decision. Once it's safe, commercial obviously as well tied in. You'd obviously combine the both. But if a decision has to be made regarding the flight, that is just purely on safety. That takes priority.
Yeah, well, that's understandable.
Yeah, of course.
Well, you're not to say when even on the single engine piston aircraft, once the aircraft decides that the engines, give up the ghost and you've got to make an emergency landing. At that point, the aircraft belongs to the insurance company. So don't try and save it. Try and save yourself.
It's been many years now since I lived one of those.
Yeah, I'm a good 100 miles away from you, but got you on my TCAS. Oh wow, that's Evan on YouTube. Kim has asked who's the captain, who's captain, and who's your co-pilot. So Funky Ducks replied Captain Leprechaun and Superman Dan. Okay, well, oh blimey. That makes sense. It's Jerry. On a serious note, it's Jerry. It's an Airbus A320 pilot in there. He's an Airbus A320 pilot in real life. Flies for an airline. He's my secret weapon. Actually, getting me a bit more accustomed to flying this thing. Certainly don't know enough about it to say that I'm really familiar with it, but it's improved my landings and navigation at least.
Well, in fairness, Dan, if I can make a comment on that, from maybe 3-4 weeks ago, since we started just chatting about the Airbus, the difference between what you were doing then in the streams, which was fantastic and entertaining, and that's what me hoped, to your knowledge now is just incredible. Yeah,
it's been a really good journey, hasn't it, of trying to get better.
Clear to climb flight.
Sorry, go on. Climb.
You're clear to climb flight level 370.
370. Yeah, it's been nice. We got an aircraft. Can you see that aircraft passing us on our left-hand side?
Yeah, let me see. I do. Yeah, just down low. I'll tell you exactly who he is. Captain's gone. Oh, he is. It's just a little bit behind here. Computer's a bit slow here. Okay, so he is the Ryanair. He's coming from Portugal to Dublin.
All right, there we go. So he's travelled quite a long way, hasn't he?
He has.
So at least a 2-hour flight, isn't it?
Yeah, it would be. But I do see there's a fair bit of activity in the Portugal area tonight, and that's obviously because that area is all lit up.
So if you've got any questions, anybody watching the live stream, if you've got any questions about learning to fly or anything about the Airbus, then this is your time, because we've got a first officer, well, captain, I should say, captain on board that's real Airbus pilot. So just fire over any questions that you've got, and in the meantime we'll have a look at the outside of the aircraft. I don't know whether we'll be able to see anything.
I'll make those easy questions as well, please. It's like you're in a bit stealth mode there.
Yeah, it's there isn't a lot to see out there, but we're over the Irish Sea at the moment, so I imagine as we get closer, a little bit further down, we'll start seeing a bit more. This is crazy. I'm scared of flying 468 skydives, yet wouldn't mind learning to fly. Well, do you know what? I think there's a lot to be said that, you know, if you're actually piloting the aircraft, you'll probably feel a lot better about it, especially if you've done skydives. It's not obviously height that's your problem. It might be a control thing, you know. You maybe want to you know, I'm not a particularly great passenger in a car, to be honest. I'd rather drive myself, but so it could be that, really. Let's go and have a look through some of these things in the flight deck that I don't know what they do, and see if you'll be able to answer for me. So this screen above the MacDo that's got bright and dim message and stuff like that is what's that for? What's that for?
Okay, so there's as you know, and you use yourself in a private scene, when you speak at air traffic control, you use voice. You obviously transmit, call over the radio, and they'll speak back. The new system that's coming in, well, it's not new, it's around a few years now. You can actually basically request some of the clearances through that. It's a text messaging service, basically.
Yeah.
And it just makes the air traffic control a little bit more efficient.
Okay. Yeah, and I can see that it's in off at the moment. So
yeah, for now.
Yeah, for now. Okay, and then looking over onto the switching. So ATT heading, norm, captain and first officer.
That's interesting. Okay, so if I was to say to you, and you know this probably as well from light aircraft, you have static sources, pitos, and that kind of thing. Okay, all the instruments on the captain side, we're going to call it number one, right? All of the static ports, the first static ports, the instruments, there's a set for the captain. There's also a set for the first officer being used independently, and there's a spare set, call it number 3. So if we had something fail on the captain side, I'm just going to show you, if you look down at the air data, the second one over, if I switch that to 3, your system is now being fed by the static port number 3, the pitot number 3, and all the data on your PFD is coming from the standby system. So you could have a blocked, I'll just put it back to normal. You can have a blocked system on your side, and you can bring in the third system, and first officer can work on his second system. In other words, you still have 2 independent systems.
Okay, so that's really interesting.
It's a backup.
Yeah. Okay, so that answers that one. Emergency cancel button. So when would you use that?
There's there are some anomalies and some situations that if you have a failure, it will constantly ring. So if I said to you, I'm just going to do a fire test on the engine. It's not a real one. Okay. If that bell would not stop ringing, you would hit emergency cancel, and that will put it to the background and put that failure away completely. Okay. Even though it's there, it will stop its annoyance by itself.
And would it still display it in the main ECAM
You would have
screen.
to call it back up. Yes, you'd have to call it back up though. It is there still, if that makes sense.
Okay, and how would you get to that to call it back up? Like,
okay, if you look down on the buttons there where you can call up the individual pages of the systems from engine, bleed, pressurization. There's one button at the bottom there. It says status, and there's also one to the left. Sorry, there's another one to the right of that called recall.
Okay, got you.
That's where you will find it.
So these are all interesting things that you don't, unless, like say, we've got some time to burn, to check, and it's just really useful going through these different things. Happy New Year to everybody, wherever you are. So Australia's already had their New Year, haven't they?
I saw that on TikTok.
So that's pretty cool. What's the lower display? This bright. Oh, okay, that's the brightness of the cam.
That's the brightness, yeah.
Let's have a look. Let's try and pick some things that are. Okay, so the radios, understand that. Actually, Bravo Foxtrot Oscar next to ADF. What's that one? Photo?
Have a look. Sorry, where are you looking?
So the radio stack. Next to ADF button. So you got your nav, VOR, ILS, MLS, ADF, and BFO.
Oh yes. Okay. So let's first start with the mirror of those switches that's just above them. So you VHF 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay. They are when you press that down and select it. For instance, I think it could be done on number 2. Let me just do that for you.
Yeah.
There you go. I've highlighted number 2.
Yeah.
Now that means I've opened up the audio channel on that, and I can turn up and down and listen to whatever we put on VHF2 radio over on the far side.
That makes sense.
So when you want to listen and identify a beacon, you can actually, they're not modeled here on this unfortunately, but you'll press that button as well, highlight it, turn up the volume, and you can hear the ident of the VOR or the ILS or wherever you're trying to identify.
Yeah. So same as obviously the single engine piston sort of pull knobs, so you can
So here's the good thing about the Airbus thing. They will actually identify. Now it's not modeled here. If you type, let me just type in. We're getting close to Brecon, BCN. I'm going to type in the VOR of Brecon, and when I put that in there, BCN is about 33 nautical miles away. Actually, I could have put in the frequency of 117.45. The aircraft would have heard the ident and actually coming up with BCN there for me and let me identify it for me, so I didn't have to do it myself. Are you still there, Dan?
Sorry.
Oh,
sorry. I thought I was by the way, why is the engine flashing 402? It seems to be flashing on the ECAM screen.
Yeah, I see that there. Normally when you have something pulsating like that, it sends you into the QRH to check that it's probably not a failure or it's not serious. However, it's drawing your attention that it's starting to trend out of its normal parameters. Now, I've noticed that on this particular add-on, it keeps doing that. No, I've never done a flight without it. It's always pulsating.
Oh, really? How strange.
So that on the real aircraft, that would indicate that the pressurization there, PSI of the engines, wherever it's producing, is not correct.
Got you. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, we're starting to see some better views now, actually, outside the flight deck. But you can see them as well.
Yeah, it's actually quite good.
Okay,
Look at that sunset up on the right-hand side of my window.
Oh wow!
Isn't it great?
It's mad because, like, say, on the ground you probably wouldn't see it, but obviously when you're up in the air, you get to see the last bits, don't you? Sort of burn away. Do you have any sun visors in the Airbus, or?
There is. If you actually just they're not modelled here, but just at the top there, at the top of your front window, you would see it going across there. You'd actually see it going across.
Okay.
This is normal flying when things are going good and there's no failures.
Well, you don't want failures, do you? At the end of the day, and I think that obviously, it allows to sort of ask any questions, about the aircraft. Allows us to have a little bit more time to discuss anything that anybody asks for as well.
Absolutely.
I'm just having a look around the aircraft as well, just to see if there's anything. So I know what the gear extension does. Okay, so I'm just looking at that. Okay, the wind shear, where the wind shear, predictive wind shear is there. So what do the gain, min, max and the tilt do?
Okay, so there's actually two systems in there. One is a radar and one is predictive wind shear as well. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you look at the predictive wind shear that you switch on auto, over on the left-hand side, would you mind if I just switched on the cockpit light for a moment? It makes it much easier to see.
Yeah, there we go. That's
so
better.
If you look down there on the left-hand side, there's a system there. It's actually in up at the moment, but I'm moving that switch over and back.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the radar. So if you switch on to system 1, and that PWS is a different function. However, it's within the radar system itself. You can set the radar for different intensities to return, big clouds, we'd say big water droplets, small water droplets, depending on what you want to do. You can have an auto scan. So there's a multitude of different ways of looking at it. I would say from a manual perspective, there is set text on how to use it, obviously in its operations manual. Yeah. But each guy might have a slight different kind of small adjustment to the settings that they would prefer themselves. So it's a hands-on thing you got to get used to.
Gotcha. Okay. And the auto multi-scans auto that essentially just tries to do it for you.
It looks everywhere up and down, and it gives you sort of depth of the CB cloud or whatever. Yeah, there's many different models, so it's that functionality is specific to each model.
I have to say, I haven't had bad turbulence in a passenger aircraft. I mean, like really bad, since I was a child. So the systems must be getting better, or the ATC must be getting better to divert you around. But do you experience turbulence?
Yeah, it's there's only so much that you could pick up from a weather radar, I would say. Okay. If it's visible CVs and visible weather, that's fine. You can work with that and eyeball it and get ATC to get you around it. However, there is CAT turbulence, which is clear air turbulence, one that you can see, and that has surprised me in the past. Many years ago when I was a co-pilot, I was flying with a captain, and we were having our lunch, and the next moment the lunch we were wearing it. So it was that kind of a surprise.
I dread to think the clean-up operation over the instruments. It's I hope they're waterproof.
No, I tell you, that actually, funny enough, it always lands on you, never the instruments.
Really? But that's a good point, actually. Are these instruments spill-proof?
Let's put it this way: I'm not going to try.
No.
It's something you don't want to try. I'd say take a little bit, but you wouldn't want to be going there.
Because it makes you, it does make you wonder. Because I know, you spill something on the keyboard or something. You're sort of like, oh no. It's crazy. How come your train ND button is in up? I know on the new version of A320 NX it's operable. We're running the development version, and I know it's in up on the development version. I don't know why actually it's in on the development. I mean, I'm guessing they're working on that particular model and was taken out in the meantime, maybe.
You wouldn't. With that kind of difference between the stable and development, it wouldn't surprise me now in the next, 1 maybe 2 upgrades down that you're going to see this working and maybe the ATC working also.
Yes. Yeah, it's interesting. And in terms of your meals, I think I might have asked you this before, but is it true that pilots have to have different meals?
Yeah, you would. The two of you would have separate meals on the controls, like the company, an airline who was providing meals for their staff would make sure that it's great standard and making sure that it's temperature controls. All obviously. You don't want to introduce food poisoning into meals, and an extra precaution is that the flight deck will have a separate, different meal each.
Yeah, it's it makes sense too, doesn't it? Really. I suppose with just minimising the risk where you can.
Of course, absolutely. Yeah.
What's the worst? What's the worst in-flight meal you've had? What sort of meal was the worst you've had?
They're all great.
They're all great. And have you ever tried these in-flight meals on the ground? Because apparently they're really, really strong on the ground. So they're designed to be, eaten in the air where the pressure.
No, I haven't.
Okay, I want you to try one next time on the ground and see what it's like. just to tell me if it's really bad.
Sometimes I like to pass on. Don't eat those sometimes.
See, a friend that worked for FlyUK as a pilot. He used to take the meals, like the packed sandwiches and stuff, home with him and eat them for his dinner. And I was like, oh my word, like
fair enough.
Yeah. I mean it. I think that's verging on using the same milk for your cereal in your cup of tea, isn't it? Really, that's what I said to him. So obviously, just out of interest, how come you are running the dev version? Actually, good question. Why are we running the dev version, Jerry?
Well, I think it's maybe somebody else now who can answer this better. However, I have noticed on the dev version there's a lot more functionality that seemed to be working, especially with the FMGC, the computer. On the stable version, there's some functionality that wasn't working well. It wasn't important for SimBrief well, and now since people start, I don't know whether it's everybody's running the dev version only in the last few months, but this seems to be the standard out there for now. I could be wrong. Maybe somebody else can give us a better idea on that.
Yeah, actually, I think I remember. I think I do remember why I switched over to the development version, because I was on the stable version, but the flypad didn't work as effective for the SimBrief. And if you remember, I was trying to load it in, and it just wasn't having any of it. So yeah, I think it was that side that made me change it over. Which makes sense. I tried landing at Lukla, Nepal earlier and failed miserably multiple times due to the crosswinds. It's a difficult one. I seemed to nail it the other day though, and it just happened to. I think there's more luck than skill there. New Year in Dublin, enjoyed. Just touched down in Dubai. Have a good one. Wow. Tracy Moore, Happy New Year, Mr. Pilot. Thank you, Tracy. And Mystery Flavor 526, enjoy the lessons, thanks. Oh well, like I say, the lessons are coming from more Jerry's side than my side tonight.
There's actually one more I want to go through for you in a moment, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah.
No, keep going there.
Okay, so shall we have a quick fuel check before we come around? Actually, that TA only, I think I might have asked you this again, but I forgot, but why is it saying TA only? Is that because the rest is not functioning in terms of the transfer?
Okay, well let's just put it onto TA or A. There you go. Now,
I see. I got you.
To explain, I just put that, I switched that down on the transponder now. The reason for you have TA or A or TA only. If you have another aircraft that's going to be coming in conflict with you, the system will link up with the aircraft, give it a resolution advisory, and what that means is the system will tell you to climb and might tell the other guy to descend. If you were on a single engine, it'll just, you put it into TA and you're just getting traffic advisory. You've more important things there regards of holding the aircraft up there, one engine. The other guy will probably get the resolution advisory, descend or climb away. In other words, he's a better performance than you when you're on one engine.
Yeah, that makes sense. and and then there's another one, isn't there? There's okay, it's just standby on that one. Yeah, I was thinking of the transponder.
Sure.
Yeah, she's got 1 and 2 having you on the transponder, which is the redundancy. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You have 2 systems. If one doesn't work, flick it over to the other.
Okay, that's interesting. You got the AID prints.
Yeah.
So can you print the? Is that the ADIRs? Is it? Or is that,
No. That's just a system really that engineering would use, and they may want to do a test on the aircraft. Press that button, and it'll print out the test results for them from the little printer.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
We just drive. Engineering does engineering. We just drive.
Well, there's that great account on there, TikTok, that he's an engineer for Airbus, and it's really interested in pulling the parts out the aircraft. I'm like, oh my word!
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the one where he'd taken the standby altimeter out, and he was basically attaching the airlines to it, and I was like, whoa! That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Sometimes you're just better off not knowing what's going on.
That's exactly what I thought. Because I was thinking, oh my word, like, you know, like when you see them do that, you think, I hope they put that back right.
Yeah. Oh dear. Dan, I was thinking earlier on, it was just something that I seen over a few weeks ago, and I wanted to actually explain it to you. We have a few minutes here now, and can I show you from a control point of view the protections that an Airbus will not allow you to stall?
Yeah, sure, that'd be great.
Okay, so it's from a speed perspective, okay? See the way we're sitting now at 0.78?
Yes.
What I would like you to do is wind the speed back.
Okay.
And I'll tell you when to stop, nice and slowly.
Okay, autopilot speed, yeah?
Yeah, so just select the speed. Yeah. Select the speed. And start winding it back. Down past the green dot, which you shouldn't never really go down there.
Yeah.
And can you tell me on your screen what value do you see on that yellow line, the top of the yellow line? What speed is it pointing at? The top of the yellow line.
240?
No, not the yellow lubber line. I mean the VLS line down below. It's coming up the screen now, and then there's a tiger looking tail in it.
Okay, so 219.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, I want you to wind the speed midway down that line, not to the tiger, through the tiger's tail as we call it.
Okay.
Just midway through the line part.
Okay.
And watch the speed should stop at the top of that line.
Okay.
It should not allow you to go down.
Yeah, it seems to have stopped at that point.
You can wind it down as low as you want, but the computer is basically saying, no, Dan, you are not going down there. Now, you can then disconnect if you wished at a later date. We'll do it another time. If you disconnected your auto thrust and closed your thrust levers, now it will go down into, see that kind of amber black line?
Yeah.
Once it gets in there, the thrust will come back on again and protect you and will not allow you to stall the aircraft. Stall the aircraft is down below just the red, you can see it at the very, very bottom. So it's a little bit into that where you install. And that's how an Airbus can actually protect itself.
And a question as well, why, at what point does the Airbus switch to max speeds rather than, on the sort of dialing in on the, is there
you can see that normally around flight level 280, 290 switch to Mach.
And is
if you manage your speed, sorry, I was going to say, if you just manage your speed again.
Manage your speed now,
Yeah, and then it'll let it do its thing. It'll go back to where it was, mid-speed. Sorry, now you were saying.
And that's sort of, do you know well, you know, it's probably one of those things that, well, that's how it is. You know, I don't really know the theory behind it. But do you know why they use max speeds over nautical miles once you get to a certain height?
Basically, when you get to a certain level, you got to remember the air density is totally different from low level versus high. And if you probably vaguely remember this somewhere, that most instruments, especially like pressure instruments, anything to do with air, it's set when the pressure, or it's calibrated from a pressure of 1013. So for instance, the altimeter 1013 is the reference. That's what we use for standard, and everything is adjusted on that. The pressure is slightly different out there. So based on sort of parameters that they would use, they're okay on the ground, but when you get it up very high, it's not quite, the calibration doesn't quite work. But what does work is referencing the speed of sound from the air density of it.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Temperatures there, I should say.
Which makes it a bit bizarre with using knots still on your flights. You know, you sort of is it PFD? Is it?
You see knots, but if you look down at the bottom,
you have got this sort of yeah, it makes sense. But yeah,
and if you were to select your speed there, I'm going to select the speed there. Watch, it's 0.73. See that there?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Now I'm going to wind it up a little bit. So, I can switch the speed. Watch this. There's a button there, right to the left. I've just selected to knots, but that's not accurate up there. Speed, that's what you need.
Yeah. Is there ever a point where ATC will give you a different speed in the cruise? Because I mean, they do down obviously on the approach, don't they? But
oh yes, they can. If they want to separate you, like if you have two aircraft, let's hypothetically say you're going from Portugal to Dublin, and the two of you took off at the same time, and the both of you are looking for the same level. You're close, but far enough apart that you both travel at the same level. They might say to the number one aircraft who's slightly ahead, keep decimal 79 or greater, and they will say to the aircraft behind, fly decimal 78 or so. So you will never cross.
Gatwick traffic.
That makes sense. I'm just going to look at the VATSIM radar as well, see if there's anything else come alive.
Unfortunately, I don't see anything there at the moment. Gatwick, as we just heard this, and actually the Brest controllers, they just closed down as well now.
It's,
I think everybody's going off for the beers.
I think so. I think that's probably the case.
I can't quite remember if it was last night or the night before on the stream. I've never seen so many guys in one row.
Yeah, there's still quite a few pilots flying though. Just where we are at the moment. Okay.
So we're good. There's one there. How do you get the iPad? The iPad is actually part of the download, the fly-by-wire 320 that you can download and install, and that flypad actually comes with it. So it's a lot of people have done that rather than use the stock 320 from Flight Simulator.
Okay, so we're past London at the moment. I noticed how they've got the light pollution spot on with the clouds as well.
They have indeed. I'm just going to put that button up there for you on your ND, and you can see the airports.
Okay. Look at that strange going on. I don't know if you've got that on the ND as well. That sort of almost like a sort of crisscross line. Have you seen that?
Oh, let me just have a look. No.
Have you seen mine?
Okay, so let's have a look. I can see it there on the stream.
Yeah.
So, can you confirm the point on your MacDo that you're going direct to?
Yeah. Okay. So, so at the moment we're Lavery is highlighted.
And keep reading all the points down.
MCAD.
Yeah.
UTUM. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. DVR.
Yeah.
Maddox.
What about Vabic? Was Vabic in there?
No.
Okay. Let me just take this one out of here. Okay, yeah, go ahead, Maddox.
Okay, so COK.
KO,
so sorry.
KOK, yeah.
KOK, sorry.
Yeah.
So DVR, KOK, Vabic, KOK again, so that would probably be the reason I was going back.
Right. So you've got some duplicate points. I'll tell you what you should have there, okay? So you should have, whoops, I'm messing with the box here. So you should have Maddox, KOK, and then the next one should be BR201.
Oh, okay, so alright. So we've got KOK, VABIK, Vabic.
BR, Bravo Romeo.
Okay, hold on. In that case, oh, so BR201. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be your next point then after KOK.
Okay. Oh, okay. So get rid of Vabic after KOK. So it should be BR.
I can see it's going back on itself, and then just get rid of all that.
Okay. Okay, that's it. That looks a lot better. How strange. Evan Anna said, "Are you doing the return?" Oh, I think my wife and I don't think Joey's wife would be too happy about that. To be honest, it's I won't be doing any more live streams until the new year.
Till next year.
Until next year. It sounds a long time, doesn't it?
So.
Okay, so we are. We could tune to Heathrow approach and get some there chatter if you want.
Yeah, sure. Can we do that for you?
Yeah, do you want to do that?
Just let's see. That's 2.
And while you're doing that, I'll check how the fuel situation is going. So
Sure.
DVR is actually where far are we?
We'll have to keep it. We're listening to Heathrow. We've got to keep an eye on VATSIM in case it comes alive.
Okay.
Because we're on the wrong frequency then.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Hey Dan, the man. Hi Phantom, how you doing? How'd you get the custom livery? So you can download the stuff from flightsim.to.
7 left clear to take off, Chinox 10 Echo, and once again apologies for the chart.
Let's stop apologising. Shuttle 9 Papa 2, some right clear to land, surface wind 200 degrees, 8 knots.
Right, 2 some right clear to land, Shuttle 9 Papa. A3, good evening to you, Civil 49Y uniform, A320 inbound, overhead Hazel, towards Ockham, we have Bravo.
Speedbird 491, uniform Heathrow director, descend, flight level 80.
Descend, flight level 80, Civil 491 uniform.
Mind you, there's some real life situations where...
Flight 454, report your passing level, climb flight level 150.
Where passengers have... have basically left it on while they're chatting in the cockpit. I've watched a few videos where that's happened.
Yeah, there's some corkers out there on the end of that.
I mean, is it the case the buttons got stuck in that, or is there a way that you can actually turn on, transmit and basically toggle the button and not forget to put it off basically?
Well, in the Airbus, it will allow you to transmit for a certain.
Chairman 165, hello Sam, PG1 information for
as I remember, it's 30 seconds.
Chairman 165, code Dublin, Compton 3 Golf, Squawk 4454.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Clear Dublin, Compton 3 Golf,
just from
correct brake shuttle
the buttons, the way they're positioned,
take off, surface wind 200 degrees, 9 knots.
Yeah.
I I'm just going to flick back over to Unicom there for a moment because I'm finding it hard to even hear you.
I was going to say I've just basically turned the ATC down because it was very loud.
Dan, will I set up your box for you for the approach?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be great, and I'll if you do that, and then we'll have a fuel check just to make sure we're okay with the fuel.
Sure. So I think with the fact we have no ATC tonight, I think we'll just be straight in. We'll take care of own vectors for 2-5 left. That'll probably be the best.
Okay. Yeah. So Phantom AU, so it's already next year here. So yeah, 'cause he's in Australia.
Oh, very good. So the approach right, 2-5 left. Excellent. Okay, so Cat 1 minima is 350. And I'll go and get your weather also.
Just trying to find us on there, the VATSIM radar.
Yeah, that can be a little bit behind as well. So.
Oh, can it? I see.
Yeah. So you're probably further back where you actually think you are.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Then you should join the ATP party. What is the ATP party? Do you know, Jerry?
I don't know. I haven't heard of it.
Our flight number is 628, isn't it? Yeah, I've got
It is. Yes, it is. Yeah. So quiet without ATC, isn't it?
I know, that's the... It's definitely. And of course, obviously, with the views this evening not being as many people involved, obviously the questions aren't flowing as much.
However, we do have some good hard followers here sticking with it.
Definitely, it's the way to go.
I can understand though. I expected to be quiet this evening. Everybody's getting ready to do their thing, you know.
Definitely. Unless you're in isolation due to COVID, of course.
Ahem. I think we all are at some stage, aren't we?
Well, there's a group of people, the ones that have had COVID and the ones that are going to get COVID. I don't think you're going to escape it, you know.
No, that's it. Yeah, it's a matter of when, you know. So we'll have everything set up there for the approach. ILS is in the box there for runway 25 left.
Thank you very much, Joey. So yeah, Phantom AU said Air Transport Pilots Party. Yeah, I think I was saying to Jerry actually earlier that it's getting it's always been a dream to get my airline pilot's license, and I think that doing the sims like this just makes you want to get a bit closer to that.
Okay, cleared descent, flight level 100.
Flight level 100. I bet it's certainly easier dialing that in the Royal Aircraft.
Easily, yeah. And just a small observation, you'll see it, but you can't actually feel it. Pilot could actually put his hand up there and without looking, and select one of those knobs to turn. Now, If you look at the texture of each one of them, they have a different shape kind of thing on them, and you instantly know I don't have the heading button, or I have the altitude button instead.
Yes.
Because the altitude has a different kind of feel to they all have a different feel to each other. It's crazy what they've thought of, but it really works out.
And it's the same in the smaller aircraft. That's the reason they have different sort of for the mixture and the throttle in the single engine pistons. That's why they have a different feel as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to look, but your mind tells you, no, that's not right,
Yeah. Jackmo.pc, yo, how is the flight going? It's going smooth actually. I don't want to jinx
really
it, but it is going smooth. Joint operations as well, so it's adds a little bit more pressure to this. And out of interest, I'm going to go onto the IVAO.
Sure.
And just see how busy they are with the. Okay, well they're about the same.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, they've got very similar areas that are open. So
well, that's the thing. We called it earlier on. We did discuss this. Remember, we said like it could be playing tonight as well. So it's expected.
Yeah, they're busy in Madrid though. They've got full ATC in Madrid. They must be having is it Spain's an hour ahead? Is it? Yeah. So.
That's in. Yes, it is. That's in on
I've been practicing landing at airliners today, specifically the Airbus A320. Oh, good. Good to see you've got the A to B flights working on stream. Yeah, these sort of A to B flights don't attract as many viewers in terms of numbers, just because they're longer. Obviously, require a bit more sort of patience with those. But I would say that the conversations that we're having out of the A to B flights are more rewarding. You can have some really good conversations going, some good questions, and also it's getting me used to the prep before and after the flight and sort of the approach and trying to get those into memory items for the aircraft. So thank you, Chloe, for the likes. Our Boeing buttons are better too. Phantom has said, he's a if it's not Boeing, I'm not going type of guy, I reckon. Michael the dev, how is it possible to co-pilot with your friend on Microsoft Flight Simulator? Is it a mod? Yeah, it's a mod. Do you want to explain that,
Free one. Yeah, basically it's called Your Controls, and the documentation is with it there. When I downloaded it, it took me about 4 or 5 minutes just to understand it. It's very basic. You base two of you set up on your flight simulator, same stand, same conditions, and if you have any HOTAS, make sure that all the controls are in the same position. Connect to the server, and off you go.
I mean, it's like you say, we've the key to this is making sure that we've got all the controls. If we've got same hardware, make sure they're all in the same position. Otherwise, it starts switching things on when the other person's switching them off, etc. But I think it works really well. I mean, we've only found the TCAS button that doesn't operate so far.
I think it was I think it was the TCAS. But we did find on 2 occasions. And that's basically 100% of the time that we tried with add-on scenery in airports. It crashes for some reason.
And like I say, we both had the same scenery, so I don't know why that would happen. So
interesting,
Daz MCR, hey fella, what have you heard about the 5G interference with the altimeter of the aircraft? Sounds bad. Yeah, because I've seen that in the news that they want to hold the 5G rollout just to I think wasn't it navigation? I don't think it was the altimeter, was it? I think it's the navigation they're worried about with the 5G interference. I don't know. I think with anything like that, I think the aviation industry just take a precaution approach, don't they? So probably
They need to.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay,
doesn't,
take up a heading there of 075.
075.
Yeah.
Oops. I'll do that.
That's perfect.
Okay. 075. The views are great when you get down to this level. I bet, but in real life this looks fantastic when you're coming in for the approach. Never gets boring.
Yeah, I've said it on your streams. I've commented on some of the stuff. I think the guys who developed this sim there, I've been at this now for the last 20-30 years since it was out, but they've really stepped up to the plate this time on this particular version. You know, it looks incredible realistic.
I mean, I remember sort of doing the night flying myself in real life, and one thing that I loved was, watching the ambulances and the police cars going down the roads and seeing the blue lights, and of course, generally night flying's done for the training purposes. On in the sort of Christmas period and around that, so you can see all the Christmas lights, and it's really impressive. It's really cool. The one thing that I did ask the instructor though, I said, well, if we had an engine failure, where would it land, because in your head, single engine piston as well, and he was like, well, I'll pass on what my instructor told me, and he said, well, you pick a black spot, and as you get close to the ground, you turn your landing lights on. If you don't like what you see, then you turn them back off again. I was like, oh right, okay, well, cheers for that.
It's.
I think on a serious note, I'd be picking a motorway and taking my chances, or some
There's
road.
Plenty of examples of that on YouTube. People have done that, and it turned out to be the right decision all the time.
Yeah. The thing is, when you land in a black area, like you can see, there's loads of black sort of areas not lit up. It could be a lake.
Yeah.
It could be an industrial estate or something that's shut off.
Yeah.
I mean, you really are taking your chances. I'd rather go and take a road that I can see than the only problem is obviously you've got a lot of road furniture on sort of the roads, but that's your best bet, I think.
It is. No, you're absolutely right. I can't say what I would do based on that. I mean, it's, yourself, then it depends on what happens when that happens.
Oh, definitely.
Where you are.
Definitely. Obviously, your first bet would be an airport or an airfield, wouldn't it? If you've got something inside. But in the GA world, all those airports the airfields that would be great in the day, unless you've got night flying going on, or you've got the automated. I don't know whether you had in your flight school, but it's not working at Technion at the moment. But you could actually press the ATC, the push the talk button twice quickly, and it would turn the lights on. They used to have that facility.
Yeah, it was over. Yeah, in the States where there's a lot of airfields, when you tune in 123.5, and you press the push to talk 5 times quickly, it lights up. And if you're lucky and it's a highly dense, relatively dense area with those kind of airfields, you light them all up at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a good facility.
Taking no charge extra actually for night flying because to pay for the electricity on the lights. Believe it or not, there's an extra sort of £10 or £15 charge on top of your hourly rate. Okay, so altitude we're at 1500.
Yep, 15,000. Yeah.
15,000. Yeah, not 1500, 15,000. So.
Okay, clear to descend 5,000 feet. Sorry, my apologies. Clear to descend 3,000 feet, 1022.
3,000 feet. And heading.
Sorry, yeah, the heading is 065. Just a slight track adjustment for as the height. And QNH 1022.
Zero, 2, 2. Set once, set twice, and set 3 times.
Super.
Okay, so
You're flying downwind.
Yeah, flying downwind.
Speed brake.
We're
A
nearly there.
bit of speed brake if you wanted to get you down quicker.
Oh, we can do if you want. Do you want to put some speed brake?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, okay,
throw
so
a bit of speed brake down.
we'll go to half, yeah?
Half, so let's go. And half. Okay, shortly you'll be passing 10,000 feet, so I think it'd be good if we get that out of the way now. Passing 10.
Passing 10. Okay, landing lights on.
Yeah.
And seatbelt signs on.
Yeah. Activate your approach phase.
Activate the approach phase. Okay, so we got the barrel reference 350.
Maybe select 220 knots at the moment.
220 knots.
Brussels traffic, good evening, Shamrock 628, descend onto 3,000 feet, right turn in for finals 25 left.
Some great views, outside lights. Evan on YouTube said just heading back to Dublin now.
He's dedicated, is he?
He's dedicated, definitely. Jenna, yeah, there's two of us on the flight deck controlling the same aircraft. Jerry's a real life Airbus A320 pilot, so we're in safe hands. I hope we get this down now, Jerry.
We will. We're just a little bit high, but we're doing very well with it. Still, we're passing 10. Would you like the approach check, please?
Yeah, approach check.
Yeah, okay. So this is cabin crew.
Cabin crew notified, so we'll go and do that now.
Seatbelts.
Seatbelts are on.
Your briefing and your nav aids. So it's set for ILS 25. I might just change that little one in the box there for you. Would be the ILS 25 left Zulu approach, yeah, it's out there. And performance 350 on in there. And ECAM status?
ECAM status page is checked and normal.
That's a check, approach check.
Yeah, Jerry's live. Jerry's air live and live. So, yeah. Are you real, Jerry? I'm just wondering.
I am real. Just turn right there, heading now 220.
Okay.
Cleared
220.
localizer only.
Localizer
Clear to establish only on the localizer for now.
Okay, dokie.
So is the loc button lit up on your side? Instead of the approach, press the loc.
Okay. So press the loc.
Yeah.
Approach and then loc.
No,
okay.
just loc, just LOC.
Okay, it doesn't want to activate.
Okay, well then press approach then.
That doesn't want to activate either.
Oh, really? Okay, let's have a look what's going on down here.
Oh dear.
ILS, approach ILS. Let's just see, can I do something here? Oh, Dan.
Is it activated on your side?
No.
Okay, so it's in up then.
Okay, so you're flying this raw data ILS.
Okay.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Okay, so we're doing a visual approach then, by the sounds of it. Yeah.
Okay, maybe you can... No. You can now put your speed brake away.
Okay, speed brake away.
Now, let me just see. We get this back for a second. There you go. Approach is out.
Okay, so what caused that then? Sorry, Jerry, just to pick up on
Just
that.
double check it. Yeah, okay. You were outside 25 nautical miles. Now this, technically, legally I should say, 25 nautical miles is the extent of which you probably should arm the localizer.
Yeah.
And much closer, obviously, for the glide slope. So that's why they would clear you the loc and would arm it loc only until you get closer for a clear for full approach.
Okay.
But look, you're engaged now. You're in great shape now. So 22 nautical miles out, you're going to catch it all.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I've got a few checklists like descents and stuff. You know, so MacDo landing perf is reviewed. TCAS BLW.
LW.
BLW. Yeah.
BL. That's
TCAS.
Checklist I'm not familiar with.
Oh, really? Okay. Nav aids reviewed. Anti-ice as required. Seatbelt signs as required. Barrow set below 10,000. Seatbelt signs on. Landing lights on. Wing lights on. Okay. Put that on there. And yeah, it's got landing checklist. EFIS as required. ND terrain as required. Gear down and locked, so we're not.
You're not quite there. There, you've just captured your localizer now.
Yeah, I've got that. So lock star.
Lock star and localize. If you look in the distance now, you might just catch a glimpse of the airport.
I think I've got it. We'll soon be able to tell.
Famous last words.
Yeah. No, I think that's just somebody's Christmas lights that left up. So,
it's the Christmas lights there.
Yeah. Why not use the new fly-by-wire MacDo interface? What do you mean, the one that links to your iPad or phone? So Air Canada,
yes.
YT, YouTube, we can't do that on multi-crew operations. We have tried to do that, but it messes up with the the things that you put in on the interface doesn't actually go back onto the other person's MacDo computer. Yep. So that's why.
Unfortunately, I hope they sort that out. Like, it's only a small thing, I'd say.
So we landed to Brussels. That's where we go next.
Okay.
Well, thanks for setting that up and sorting out the
no
approach
problem.
anyway. I mean, there's the panic is over now.
What panic? We never. That's we don't do panic.
Oh dear. I mean, do you get that effect as well with the lights hitting the clouds and stuff? Yeah.
So I'd say.
Oh
about,
my word!
You know,
can you see that aircraft that's coming our way?
To the left or right?
He's straight ahead of us, 12 o'clock, but above slightly. He's just come into play. There, can you see him? Actually, we're behind him. Actually.
Okay. I don't see him now. We need to keep an eye on 12 miles. Try to start configuring with managing the speed.
Okay. So flaps 1.
Flaps 1 now.
And manage speed, yeah.
That will do, yeah.
Do you want us to call clearance for final?
I will do, yeah. And Shamrock 628, 11 miles finals, 2.5 left. Glide's alive.
Right steps live. Okay. And that orange line, is that the next safe flap?
Below
line?
that, yeah. Below
okay.
that.
Okay, flaps 2, please.
And flaps 2 now set.
I think he's coming in. I think he's coming in at the same time as us.
Is he?
Oh dear. If that is the case, we'll probably disconnect from the network before we.
Yeah, we don't want to disturb.
Okay.
Look outside. Okay, I don't have him.
You don't have him your side.
Is he behind you or to the left?
He's in front He's in front.
I don't see.
Oh right, okay. Well, don't worry. This will be interesting. Okay. Well, actually, it can't be.
Disconnect.
2,500.
He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. Has he gone? I don't know. Okay. Yeah. I think we'll go with this. We'll go with it.
What could possibly go wrong? Does the cabin crew just telling you everything's all secure, is it? Yeah.
Okay, so we're on final.
Approaching 5.5 miles. When you want to gear down, let me know.
Okay, gear down.
Gear down.
Full flaps? Sorry, flaps 3. Sorry, flaps 3.
Flaps 3 now. Flap 3 selected.
And full flaps.
So we check flap full and full is selected. So your landing check is your power reference.
Check. Set once, set twice, and set 3 times.
Auto thrust.
Also thrust is set.
And ECAM. I get that. Okay. So call is then ECAM memo landing on blue. Oh.
I'm just hoping it's not just. Oh my word. Okay, well that's the end of that show. So, oh my word, and that is actually not any add-on scenery or anything. So yeah, I'm sorry for those that are waiting for the landing, but that's the danger of having a shared cockpit and a beta system. Oh my word, I'm ever so sorry.
Oh dear.
So yeah, we've the black box has happened. So. Oh no, Evan N says no. Oh no. My days, Al Jackson. Oh, Astro Crafter said, wow, fantastic landing. We can just assume that it was perfect. Deary me. Well, look, I'm going to take this time just to say Happy New Year to everybody. So Australia's already happened. So Happy New Year, Mark, as well, and everybody else that's on the stream. Oh, man, I can't believe it. 2 hours and that's it. We're gone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Jerry, happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you as well.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Has your system crashed, or was it just mine?
Yeah, it's paused here. So when the stream ends, I think we should just don't touch anything and review what we have. So hopefully we'll sort that for next time.
Yeah, don't worry. Okay, I thought that I could smell a butter. Yeah. No, I've got to do sort of dad and husband duties now before New Year's Eve. So
same here.
as we're in England. So and I'm sure Jerry is also busy with people. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's your breakdown slide? Okay. Well, Happy New Year to everybody. Thanks for joining the stream, and I'm really sorry that's crashed on our side. So yeah, but oh well. So it just proves that it's not always add-on scenery that can cause that. Then it's just really weird.
No, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what did we do just there now.
Yeah, and I don't think we were doing a fat lot, to be honest. I think we'd done the final flaps when we were all ready. We were just going through the final checks. I didn't even press the ECAM status page. I didn't even get as far. I just went to go towards that, and it just didn't like what was happening. So yeah, crazy. Anyway, Happy New Year, and here's to 2022. Hopefully we'll have no crash to desktops again. Okay, bye for now, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you.